Well, hey folks, it's your old pal, King Waspinator here, and on the 6th day of Krampus, I want to talk a little bit about the wonderful cornucopia of Star Wars news that dropped yesterday. A whole slew of shows are being produced right now for Disney+. Obviously, there's going to be more Mandalorian. It's getting 2 spin-offs, one of which is going to be something called Rangers of the New Republic, of which there's little known. I guess of the speculation that's going on online, I'm in the camp of thinking that it's probably about those 2 X-Wing pilots that keep popping up throughout Season 2 of The Mandalorian, but we'll see. And the other spinoff is going to be an Ahsoka Tano show, which would be my guess is where they're going to introduce our live-action Thrawn, and we'll see how things go, but my guess would be that maybe they're going to develop Thrawn to be like the main overlooming villain of the post-Imperial era. Between all the different shows, we'll see how that goes, but he seems like he'd be like a natural fit, and they could even tie it in to the sequel trilogy if maybe he's getting secret holographic communiques from the undead Emperor. So, and beyond that, we're getting, obviously the Cassian Andor show has now started production. I'd been fairly neutral on it, but after seeing the little bit of sizzle reel and doc footage and behind the scenes interviews, and some of the talk about how they got a showrunner who's known for doing spy thrillers and whatnot, my interest is more piqued. So, you know, I'm definitely going to give it a chance when it gets out. God, what else is there? We're getting a Bad Batch cartoon. Of the various things there, I'm the least interested in that. I might check out the Droids cartoon just out of curiosity, but I have a feeling it's probably not really for my age demographic. Despite the controversies amongst part of the Star Wars community over Leslie Headland, the concept behind The Acolyte actually sounds a little interesting, so, you know, that might be better than what, you know, people are hoping it's going to be, because there is, unfortunately, that faction of the fans that just seems to be automatically spun to be negative on anything they're told about Star Wars now. Was there anything else? Oh, Patty Jenkins is going to be doing a Rogue Squadron film, which... My thought on the angle of that is that since she directed Wonder Woman, and Wonder Woman took place during World War I, maybe she's going to make some World War I, you know, Ace Fighter Squadron type homages with this. Maybe draw a little bit of that tone instead of so much the World War II stuff. We'll just have to wait and see. They had like nothing really to say about the Taika Waititi movie, aside from the fact that it's being made. My guess is that's probably the Star Wars movie that Kevin Feige said he was going to produce. So, once again, we'll find out as time goes along on some of those sorts of details. I'm trying to remember if there's any other TV series. Oh, Obi-Wan's coming. Oh yeah, that was the other big news. Hayden Christensen is supposedly coming back as Darth Vader. So I guess we can all expect to see some sort of cat and mouse Jedi versus Vader showdown where, I mean, Obi-Wan Kenobi's going to have to fake his death, giving everyone the impression that he's dead. I mean, after all, like, Obi-Wan just kind of winced off after he beat Anakin, so going forward from Episode 3, they would know he's out there and be looking for him. So maybe this is how they tie off that plot hole, and that way Vader would be surprised that Obi-Wan's returned in Episode 4 and hadn't felt his presence since... ... But, I guess, you know, there's been some weird clamor for Hayden Christensen to come back, and as the prequels have aged and have been more accepted over time, so we'll see. I kind of wonder if maybe that's really the strategy they should, you know, strike for how to deal with the sequel trilogy. For the most part, kind of leave them alone, but after 10 to 15 years, after the generation of kids who to them this is their Star Wars is older, maybe that will help kind of reconcile them, so that, you know, people can feel better about them being included in the total Star Wars universe and not have to be ignored quite so much. And maybe those people can be, you know, brought back years later to do some things too. We'll just see how that goes, but they should definitely, I guess, sit on the sequels. I do see an angle, though, with Thrawn, where they can maybe backdoor, you know, play with the idea that the Emperor was alive this whole time still, but, you know, working even further back in the shadows. So, anyway, I guess that's all my thoughts for today on Star Wars news. In the words of the great Mike Stoklasa, soon we will have so much Star Wars that we're going to want to gouge out our fucking eyes!